Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. We are just getting ready to go live. I'm so excited. This is going to be so fun. You're going to love today's recipes. Let's start with a thumbs up. If you can hear me, if you can see me, let me know in the comments, in the chat. We want to make sure our audio is working, make sure our video is working, because you are going to love these recipes. I'm so excited to be here with you today, and we'll get started in a few minutes. But before then, I can say hello. We can talk in the chat. If you're having trouble finding the chat, you might want to get on a computer if you can. If you're on your phone or your iPad, I don't know. Sometimes it's trickier. It's okay, you don't need to be there. It's just a really fun place. It's like whenever we're in a live class, there's always a ton of people here. We had over 19,000 people sign up for today's class. Like what? I'm sure some people will be watching the replay, but you are here and many, many others are here. Hey Mary, how are you? Hi Shelly, thanks for joining us. How are you guys? You guys are talking so fast in the chat, I can't even read your names. Hi Barbara, hi Kimberly, hi Susan, hi Carolyn. Hi Joanne, how are you guys? Hey Deborah, hey Andrea, Wendy, Carolyn, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you so very much. It seems like you can hear me, you can see me, that is good. How about, we still have a couple minutes, so we're gonna let everyone join. Like I said, we had so many people sign up. How about, can you tell me, have you made freezer meals before? Are we like already friends? You already know me, you've tried my recipes, maybe you're a member of Freezer Meal Pro, or you've upgraded to VIP, let me know in the comments. Maybe you are totally new, you're excited to figure out what these meals are all about. I'm thrilled for you. I love teaching newbies, so if you are brand new, don't you worry, you're gonna get excited. The other people here are gonna tell you this is gonna change your life. It's not just me, it is helping everybody else. And I know we have people here from the US, from Canada, from Australia, all over. How are you guys? Hey Gina, hey Alexa, thank you for being here. Hi Cheryl, how are you guys? Hi Diane. It looks like, all right, we have members here. So I do have a lifetime membership. It's called Freezer Meal Pro. I can talk more about it during the class. So anyone who is saying that in the chat, they're talking about Freezer Meal Pro. And it looks like, oh, we have some new people. Melissa, totally new. I am pumped for you. Beverly, never. Oh my gosh, guys, get ready. Get out your dear diary. Today I met Kelly. Put a little heart around today's date, February 25th, because this is going to change. This is going to get awesome. You are going to love, love, love these recipes. They are so great. I'm so excited that I'm making them because we get to eat them too. So this is a win for everybody. And I'll be sending you the recipes right after class. Hi Courtney from Kansas City, how are you? Hi Candy from Minnesota, Mary, Cindy, how are you? Hi Nancy, I'm so glad you're here today. Jules from Texas. I am in Pittsburgh, PA. My house is pretty quiet. My husband is here. We have 5 kids, 4 of them are in school. One of them has like something going on with her eye. So she is home, but she is a teenager, so she will be doing her own thing. Hey, Sarah. Oh, Sarah from Pittsburgh. How are you? Marsha. Cooked several of your freezer meals. In fact, I made the lemon pepper chicken last night. A hit. Amazing. Janet, I've done some initial meal prep, but not complete freezer meals. You will love these. They are so easy to make. This is like the easiest way to make just simple, healthy dinners. You will love it. That's why it's life-changing. Hi, Amy. All right, Becky, substitute for quinoa. You could do rice. I would probably do rice. That's pretty simple. Hey, Susie, Debbie, we did not get started yet. If you just joined us, we're waiting for everyone to log in. We had over 19,000 people sign up for today's class. So we are going to get started, but I want to give everyone time to log in. Has anyone found the pepper yet? Have we talked about the pepper? So before my live classes, if you are brand new, before my live classes, I have this little, it's green, it's about this big, it has a magnet on the back, but it's a green pepper, and we always hide it somewhere around here within the camera screen, and the first person to find it is the winner. This is just like a little fun tradition we do for all the live classes. And then I send you some reusable freezer bags and some baggie stands So if you do find the green pepper at some point during the class, even if I don't see you in the chat, my husband Andy is here, Helen from the Family Freezer support team is here. They will make a note of who sees the pepper first. You just have to let us know in the comments where it is. But we will wait for you, and it's no stress. Maybe I did a good job hiding it today. I'll tell you, I've already taught 40 classes. It is hard to find a new place to hide that pepper. Every time I have to find somewhere new. So I might, someone did say something behind you next to the Pam. Oh wait, there are people finding it. All right, we might have to go back because we need to make sure. Yeah, people, all right. So someone has already found the pepper. I am seeing comments. Maybe can I show it to them? I'll show it to you. And then we'll figure out who found it first. It's right here. So, ta-da! If you're new, next time you come to a live class, come early, come a couple minutes early so you can get this pepper. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it off the peanut butter so that we're not confused when I get there. Woo! Very exciting. All right. Are we ready to get started? My plan is to move my iPad. I'm going to go through all the meals, and then I will come back to chat so that way I can answer all of your questions live. So feel free to put them in chat or just save them to that point in time, and I will make sure that every question you have is answered. Don't you worry, okay? It's going to be so fun. We're going to have a great time. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I am Kelly from the Family Freezer, and I'm so excited to show you how to make 12 healthy freezer meals for grandparents. These meals are perfect for anyone who is tired of cooking dinner every night for 1 to 2 people. Do you want an easy way to eat healthy? Do you want to save money and avoid wasting food? Do you want to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying life? If so, I have the answer for you. It is going to work better than anything you have ever tried before because it is such a simple system. Sound good? Right after class, I will send you this freebie. It has all of the easy and healthy recipes I'll be demonstrating during class. It has a full shopping list organized by aisle at the grocery store, even labels you can print and attach to your freezer bags. And you are going to want to stay until the very end of class. You're going to learn so much. And I'm even going to share a coupon code for my Freezer Meal Pro lifetime membership. Let's go ahead and jump into recipe number 1, and that is our crock pot white chicken chili. And I want to point out what sets these meals apart from anything you have ever tried before. And it is that they are all frozen raw. You're gonna see me quickly put in the meat, the sauces, the spices, the seasonings, everything into these freezer bags and freeze it for later. That means they come together in a flash and then they cook like a freshly prepared meal. They taste delicious, they are full of flavor, and they don't even take up a lot of counter space. You do not need a big kitchen to make these meals. So I already put in 2 cans of beans, 1 in each, and I will send you the freebie after class so that you have all of the recipes. But I have to tell you, whenever my freezer meal system went viral back in 2015, the number 1 question that people asked me was, Kelly, you have 5 kids. How can I make these meals with fewer servings? And this is what I'm teaching you today. It's very easy. You take each recipe and you split it into 2 freezer bags. That way we use all of the ingredients and we just have fewer servings. And that's what you're going to see me do. I totally understand. I have been making these meals for my parents, for my grandparents. I have taught thousands of empty nesters how to make freezer meals. So you are not alone and you are going to love them. All right, so I just split some salsa verde, and the other ingredients we need for this recipe include olive oil and some cumin. I had put some diced yellow onions at the bottom of the bag because I did not want to cry on camera. So that was already done before I went live. Let's go ahead and add some oil to our bags, and then we will add the cumin. Now, there was a time when my grandparents were living at home, and this is exactly what I did for them. I took 10 easy crock-pot recipes. I split them into 2 freezer bags each for a total of 20 meals. And then every time I went to visit, I just took a couple of bags with me, and it worked out perfectly. So you are going to love having these meals on hand. Not only have these worked so well for me and everyone I've helped, but I have had a lot of messages that I'm going to share throughout today's class so you can see how they're working for other people. Pamela messaged me, my husband and I are empty nesters. I have struggled with how to have healthy, easy meals for dinner for a long, long time. It took me a bit of time to get organized, but I finally took the plunge and prepped all 12 meals from one of your classes. We've had 4 meals so far. Your cooking instructions have been spot on and the recipes have been delicious. My husband loves this new system and I love the ease of searching your site, creating and adjusting the shopping list, and easily printing the recipes and labels. Thank you for all your efforts in making healthy meal planning so much easier. Amazing. So I'm so glad this is working for Pamela too. I think we are ready to move on to our second recipe. I am going to interrupt myself for 1 minute to tell you about our Freezer Meal Pro membership. If you're ready to change your life with my style of freezer meals that can be frozen raw, a membership to Freezer Meal Pro will be your best friend. I see Freezer Meal Pro as the most expansive collection of easy and healthy freezer recipes online, and the tools you need to actually make them work in your life. With Freezer Meal Pro, you can filter all of my healthy freezer recipes based on protein, keyword, cooking method, and more. You can even combine filters to drill down on the exact type of meals that you want to make. These are delicious meals that you are going to love sharing with your family and friends. One of my favorite features of Freezer Meal Pro is that you can auto-generate shopping lists that you can print or save to access later on your phone. I honestly think everyone can benefit from freezer meals, whether you're making them every week, every month, or even every few months. We have tens of thousands of members worldwide, and if you want to join us, just go to thefamilyfreezer.com/pro and enter this coupon code to save 20% off the one-time fee, no strings attached. Recipe number 2 is our best ever Tuscan turkey tenderloin. You are going to love it. It features these delicious cherry tomatoes that I already washed. I'm gonna put them right in our freezer bags. And I wanna tell you more about my story. So if you are brand new to the Family Freezer, welcome. I am so glad you're here. All of this started 14 years ago when I had a 2-year-old and a baby. And I remember feeling like between taking care of my girls, working, doing laundry, trying to keep my house semi-clean, and cooking dinner, there was no time left for what I wanted to be doing. And I'm pretty good at organizing. So I thought, how could I organize our dinners? How could I get really organized with meal planning? And I had been making these simple crock pot recipes. So I thought, is that my answer? What would I do if I didn't have to cook dinner every night? And I had this whole fantasy. It was, if I had an extra hour every night, I could play with my girls. I could sit and talk to my husband. I could call my mom. I could go for a walk. I could visit my grandparents. It felt like the world was gonna open up to me if I had this extra time. And maybe you feel the same way. It's like, what would you do if you had an extra hour every day? So I took these crock pot recipes and I thought, if I'm putting them in my crock pot raw, couldn't I just put them in the freezer raw and cook them later? And it was a total light bulb moment. So I picked 5 of my favorite recipes. That weekend I went and shopped, I prepped the meals. It only took me 45 minutes. And that next week we ate the meals and it was exactly like I had imagined. It was amazing. And what has happened is that not only did they help me that point in time, they've continued to work over the years. Now I have 5 kids. Now my husband and I work together full time. Life is busy, right? Even grandparents, I talk to so many grandparents who tell me they are busier than ever before. And I have to tell you that these meals work. They're gonna work anytime you're busy, someone has surgery, new baby, someone from church needs a meal. This is your answer. You're going to love it. Now, after those cherry tomatoes, I wanna add some sun-dried tomatoes. And we're even going to add some of the oil from the jar into the bags and the tomatoes. So first, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the oil. I'm splitting this between the freezer bags, and how I'm gonna do this is fill these in an assembly line, and then at the end of class, I'm going to add the meat. That way it can stay in my refrigerator until I'm ready to add it. All right, now I think we are ready for our peppers. So I'm just gonna eyeball the ingredients. You don't need to measure them perfectly as we're splitting them between freezer bags. These meals are very forgiving. So I told you this all started 14 years ago, and I have to tell you, all that time later, tons of hard work, the family freezer now has over 400,000 email subscribers. We have over 200,000 members of our membership site, Freezer Meal Pro. Over $1 million in cookbook sales. I was on The Rachel Ray Show, Costco Connection, TodayShow.com, you name it, I've probably been there. And it's because these meals aren't just working for me, they're working for everyone else too. And I just wanna say thank you for being here today, taking time out of your day. Maybe you're a longtime fan of the Family Freezer. Maybe you just saw my video on Instagram or Facebook and thought, what's this all about? I'll check it out. But thank you, I really appreciate you so much. And I think you're gonna find these meals are amazing. They are really going to change your life, just like they've changed mine. What we need to add now is our balsamic vinegar. We'll just do half a tablespoon. And I have to tell you the last time I made this recipe. Now my kids love this turkey tenderloin. I serve it kind of like a Thanksgiving dinner. So I make a roasted vegetable, canned cranberry sauce. I either do potatoes or stovetop stuffing. And they think this is better than Thanksgiving. Well, my son is in elementary school, and last time I made this, he had 3 friends over after school, and he said, Mom, can my friends stay for dinner? And I knew I had this in the crock pot, and I had plenty of extra food, so I said, oh yeah, sure, they can stay. Well, you know, my family is 7, then we had 3 more kids, so I'm feeding a group of 10, we're at 2 different tables, and I thought, everyone just grab your plate, let's go in the kitchen, serve yourself. So it's like the food is in plates on the stovetop, I still left the food in the crock pot, I did not bring plates to the table to pass. Anyway, the meal went great, everyone enjoyed it. The next day, I saw one of the boys' moms, and she said, oh, thanks so much for having him for dinner. He really loved it. And she's like, you're never gonna believe what he said when he got home. He said, Mom, you'll never believe it. They had a buffet. So this is my encouragement, to make these meals, serve them to family and friends, and serve it like a buffet. Leave the pots on the stovetop. You don't need to get extra dishes and put them in bowls to pass. Let's just make this really, really easy on ourselves, okay? It still tastes amazing. Now our spices in this recipe include rosemary, oregano, we have some garlic powder, salt and pepper. It is so tasty, so flavorful. Like I said, for my kids, they think this is better than Thanksgiving. They just love it. And I have another review that I want to read to you. Glenna messaged me, Kelly, you have changed my life. You have made me a cook and my husband is in heaven. We love all the meals I have made. I started splitting meals into 2 freezer bags so they can cook something fresh every day. I have cooked meals for my kids who are in the middle of a move. They are amazed to get dinner from Mom. LOL, I am so loving this and thank you so much for what you have done. That is great. So I love sharing other people's stories so you can see how they are using these freezer meals to change their life. And I just need to add a little bit of pepper and honey. And then this meal will be done. There we go. All right. Now, during class, you do not need to stress over, oh wait, I already added the honey, right? Okay, JK, I already added the honey. Talking too much, sharing too many tips. Let's go ahead and move on to recipe number 3, which is our tangy Italian chicken sheet pan dinner. Yum. So these aren't just crock pot and Instant Pot recipes. I also have, this is a sheet pan meal. I have some stovetop recipes, grill, campfire. There are so many options. And for this tangy Italian sheet pan dinner, we are going to feature some of these roasted red pepper strips. These were already drained before class. So I did a couple shortcuts so to save time during class, But I love you so much, and I really wanted you to see exactly what the ingredients are and what they look like. So they do come in a jar like this. I've never bought them before, but these roasted red pepper strips are so delicious, so flavorful. I just went ahead and drained them, and then I put them back in the jar. And I have a really important question to ask you, and that is, do you love saving money? I wish I could raise both my hands, because of course I do. I have 5 kids, you know? I have to tell you that I bought all of the ingredients for this class for less than $100. They worked out to less than $8 per meal, or less than $3 per serving. You cannot beat that. This is such an easy way to save money. I didn't use any coupons. Unfortunately, there were no sales going on. So if you do find a good sale or have a coupon, you could save even more. We ordered pizza last week and spent $55 on one meal. Granted, there are 7 of us, so it's easy to spend $55 when you're eating out, but you don't feel bad about eating out when you eat one of these meals for less than $8. Even if you have to add a side dish to feed a bunch of people, it is worth it. It's just an easy way to save money. The average American household spends over $3,000 a year eating out. And I can promise you we spend more. You just feel a lot better about it when you're balancing it with these healthy, homemade, budget-friendly meals. Everything in moderation. Now I'm gonna add some of these pepperoncini peppers. These are mild, not spicy at all. If you like spicy food, you could buy the spicier version, but since I am gonna be feeding these to my kids, I am using the mild ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. And I want to add some salami. So I bought this salami from the grocery store. The recipe says to add half a cup, and to be honest, we're just gonna add all of this. These meals are very versatile. You can make them work for you, and I don't want anything to go to waste. So this might be a little bit more than half a cup, but I'm sure it will taste great. It'll be fine in this sheet pan recipe. So all I'm gonna do is just chop it up so it's bite size. Another thing I like about these recipes is that nothing has to go to waste. I really try and use all of the ingredients in the meals. And often when you're cooking for 1 to 2 people, you can buy food, it can go to waste, you're wasting that money. And this is just an easy way to use up everything in your refrigerator, everything you buy at the grocery store is planned. And I can show you how on my website, Freezer Meal Pro, you can actually search for ingredients. So if you have something on hand, you can find out how to use it in a recipe. Now you might see I'm wiping my hands on this apron. This is actually the freezer cooking apron that my mom makes. She made me this brand new one for today's class, but I have other ones in other colors. I can kind of coordinate to match my outfit. Thank you, Mom. But my mom and I have made so many freezer meals together over the years, and she just saw me using a whole roll of paper towels every single time. Once we made 28 meals when I was pregnant. We made 40 meals when I was pregnant. And she had her own light bulb moment where she thought, wait, I could sew an apron and then put a towel on the front, and you can wipe your hands. You can wipe your measuring cups and spoons as you go, not use all those paper towels. And she ended up opening up her own Etsy shop. The link is in your freebie if you want to get one, or if you want to get one for someone as a gift. She's only one person, so she does sell out occasionally. Be patient. But she has sold over 1,000. She has 5-star reviews. Like everybody loves these freezer cooking aprons. Let's go ahead and add our seasonings, which for this recipe will include fennel seeds, oregano, garlic powder, and some kosher salt. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those in. Fennel. Is this our oregano? No. Here we go. All right, and our garlic powder. And kosher salt. Oh, I have another story to share with you because Donna messaged me. Let me get this in here. Donna, I have been making your freezer meals for almost 3 months now, and you do have a gift. They are easy and delicious. I was a little skeptical about how they would taste after freezing, but everything has been super tasty and well seasoned and freezes just fine. I'm so happy to have found you. You've truly given me back time daily to do other things. Amazing. Okay, Donna, this is great. You totally get it. They are working for you. That is amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Thanks for sharing. This recipe is ready. We can move on to recipe number 4, which is our quinoa burrito bowls. You might be wondering if these recipes will work for special diets, and I have to tell you the answer is yes, absolutely. Almost everything you see me make here today will be naturally gluten-free and dairy-free, and this recipe in particular, the quinoa burrito bowls, are also vegetarian and vegan. And what I did is I polled 3,000 grandparents before today's class and asked them what they wanted in recipes. And their first request was smaller servings, so 2 to 3 servings per freezer bag, which we are doing today. They also said lighter, healthier versions of comfort foods, which you better believe I am delivering, but they still want them full of flavor and tasting great, which is a family freezer promise. You have to love our recipes. I want them to be good enough to serve to guests. Also, today's recipes that I'm making all have 30 or less carbs per serving. I know that's important for anyone who's diabetic or pre-diabetic. You have to watch your carbs. On our membership site, we actually list full nutritional info, so that is an option if it's important to you. I added some chili powder to our freezer bag. We want to add cumin, garlic powder, and salt. I also added black beans and kidney beans for protein. And if you want, you could add chicken to this recipe too. If you don't want to have a vegetarian meal, if it's important to you to include meat, or you're cooking for someone who wants meat, that is an option. And I included that on your printable recipe. I always include the full recipe, any details and tips you need to make it a huge success. And so this one I did include that if you want to add meat, you can, no problem. In terms of other diets, we have tons of filter options in our lifetime membership, Freezer Meal Pro. We have diabetic friendly, we have lower sodium, keto, paleo, Whole30, vegetarian, vegan, all the things I've talked about, gluten-free, dairy-free. I can show you later how that works, but I wanna make sure we add everything to our bag. So we're gonna add a little bit of frozen corn. I'm just gonna eyeball this. Doesn't have to be exact. And we need our red pepper and our quinoa. So the quinoa I am adding today is pre-rinsed, so we do not need to rinse it. That is actually why I picked this one for today's class. I do not have a measuring. We'll use this one. That's why I picked this one. It is from Costco. But I purposely didn't want to have to rinse it at a time. And you're adding the quinoa raw, dry, just like you would with every other ingredient today. So like I promised you, you do not need to pre-cook any of these. You are not gonna have a huge sink full of dirty dishes at the end. It's just gonna be your cutting board, your knife, some measuring spoons, measuring cups, and you can put them right in your dishwasher. All right, maybe one more scoop in here. That is perfect. And then, all right, we just need this. We're gonna add the red pepper. The day of cooking, you add a little bit of water, which is listed on your recipe, but that is great because this recipe can be cooked in a crock pot or in an Instant Pot. And I'll do a cooking demo for you in a little bit, but by adding the water the day of cooking, it won't burn in the Instant Pot. Any other Instant Pot fans out there? I like them for dinners whenever I forget to put something in my crock pot. It's just a nice option. So yeah, you want to add some kind of liquid the day of cooking so that it doesn't burn. So I do try to wait to add any kind of broth or water, especially for the Instant Pot. The crock pot, normally you're fine no matter what. All right, Leslie sent me a message. Kelly, I am so happy with your freezer meals. This is the 4th recipe that I've tried, and I have to say that these recipes are absolutely wonderful. Even my husband, who tends to be a bit fussy with what I cook, loves them. I am retired and there are just 2 of us at home. This makes my life so much easier not having to figure out dinner all the time. Thanks, you are a lifesaver. Yay! All right, Leslie. It's great to hear that. I'm so glad these meals are working for you. Keep up the good work. Okay, so this recipe is done. And we can move on to recipe number 5, which is our garlic butter steak bites. Yum! Talk about healthier comfort food. Oh, this is such a great recipe. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of butter. Now, you might be thinking, these are a lot of crock pot recipes. Are they bland? Are they mushy? Do they all taste the same? It's okay if you're thinking that. I hear it all the time. And if it's not you, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a child who feels that way. And my daughter said that she has a friend at school who said when he comes home and there's something in the crock pot, he goes up to his bedroom and cries because he thinks it's going to taste terrible. Oh, I told her you need to give this kid a cookbook because these recipes are delicious. They are full of flavor. Everybody who makes them loves them. All right, let's make sure we add our right amount of garlic powder. But even in today's class, I am including a variety of flavors for you. We have American-inspired meals, we have Mexican, we have Italian, and there are so many more on my website. It's different tastes, different textures, different cooking methods. And with every recipe, when you look in your freebie, you're going to see that I have included a suggested side dish if necessary. Some of them don't need a side dish, but for these garlic butter steak bites, I put mashed potatoes and roasted carrots. You could just do a salad, totally up to you. But that really gives you an option where you could just have those different flavors, different textures in your meal. These are not all the same. You have to eat dinner every night. It might as well be from a crock pot, from an Instant Pot, from a stovetop, from your freezer, and it's gonna taste great. I just added some salt. We need some pepper and olive oil, and then I'll be adding the meat at the end. The beef broth gets added the day of cooking. That's important if you do this in the Instant Pot, like I said earlier. So we'll add a little bit of pepper. Okay. And olive oil, half a tablespoon. All right, you can see I am just reusing the same tablespoons, the same measuring spoons during class, and then at the end, they are gonna go in my dishwasher. Very easy cleanup, can't beat it. Is that everything? Yes, I think we got it all. All right, let's see what anyone had to say. All right, we had a couple messages about this particular recipe. Jessica said, "This is my first meal from the family freezer. I cooked it in the Instant Pot. My husband walked in the house, stole a piece of meat from the pot and said, 'Wow, yum.' He devoured 2 servings and said, 'Please make that again.'" That is so good. Valerie said, "Out of this world winner. The easiest way to cook steak. We had it with white rice and broccoli, and the rice soaked up that garlic butter sauce perfectly. 4 out of 4 humans loved it." Okay, and then Flavia said, "I am loving my freezer meals. I started because I wanted to save money by not going out to dinner so much. Now I do it because it's fast, fun, easy, and tasteful." Okay, this is great. Let's move on. We're getting right through these meals. We're gonna do recipe number 6, which is our cheesy pizza chicken bake. This is a recipe for all ages. If you have your kids, your grandkids over, you can make 2 bags at a time because they are gonna love it. And you will also love it. We're gonna I'm gonna eyeball this pasta sauce between the 2 bags. One of these jars has about 2.5 cups. So you wanna put 1.25 cups if you were measuring. I'm using Prego Traditional, but you can use whatever sauce you like, any kind of traditional sauce. Now, is there anything that's still holding you back from making these meals? I know I frequently hear that for many people, the hardest part is just planning to make them, just finding a time to actually make them. So the first thing I want to tell you is you can do this. Like, I know you got this. And my best advice is to get out your calendar, look at the upcoming weekends, and just pick one weekend when you have time. And when you make these easy meals that I'm giving you today, these are all frozen raw. You can see how quickly they're coming together. So you're only going to need 1 hour or maybe 2 hours if you've never made them before. So you just need to find a weekend where you have a little window of time to make these meals. And then you're gonna have so much free time by not having to cook. But you will have these healthy, delicious homemade meals and you're going to love it. It's that easy. So for our spices, we're gonna add oregano, crushed red pepper flakes, onion, and garlic. Let me make sure I got everything. We need our oregano. And I'll tell you what is already in the bags. I already added more of those roasted red pepper strips. Oh my gosh. When you bake this in the oven, you are not gonna believe how that sauce cooks down. It gets bubbly. It starts to get brown on the top. You add a little bit of pepperoni and cheese before you pull it out of the oven. It's like the best thing you've ever eaten. You wouldn't even, this is cheesy pizza chicken. You do not need a crust when you are eating this. It is so delicious. And I just want to encourage you again, if you've been waiting to make these recipes, you absolutely can do it. I have to tell you, the women who follow the family freezer, they are capable, they are smart, they are inspiring women, and you are here today and you can do it. You've got this. I think this is our last seasoning. We only need the kosher salt. And then I want to read a review from Beverly. Beverly said, I am new to Freezer Meals. I just became a member of your Freezer Meal Pro site. My adult grandson and I prepare meals most of the time, and we love making our first batch of freezer meals together. We cooked our first meal last night. It was very good. I can't wait to try the others. Yay, okay, Beverly, amazing, good job. Now, I do have one more recipe for you. We've already made our 12 dinners. They came together that quickly, but I added a bonus recipe for you, and it is no-bake crispy rice granola bars. I love having these on hand because they can work for a quick breakfast on the go, a snack, a dessert. This is gonna give you a lot of options, and it yields one pan. It's an 8x8 pan, so it's not too big. I think it's the perfect size, and it's no bake, just like all of my other recipes. So here's what we have to do. First, we're gonna combine our dry ingredients in this big bowl. And I already did it before class to save time. I'll mix it up for you so you can see what's inside. This is Quick Oats, crispy rice cereal, and salt. And it's very easy to make this gluten-free. I've done that for one of my best friends before, so that is an option for you. And then we have our wet ingredients in this glass measuring cup. And this is including salted butter, honey, light brown sugar, and vanilla extract. And I'm going to add the natural peanut butter for you right now because this is important. This natural peanut butter has that oil separation in the top. And I waited to add it now because I want to point out that oil is important. And when you're scooping in your 3 tablespoons, include some of the oil. I know sometimes when people make no-bake recipes like this, these bars or protein bites, they'll find they're really crumbly or they come apart. And that's because they're not including enough wet ingredients or they have too many dry ingredients. It's about that wet to dry ratio. So make sure when using that natural peanut butter, healthier than the other peanut butter, that you include some of the oil. And if you make it and it's too crumbly, maybe mix in a little extra before you put them in the freezer. So what I'm doing is I put that in my microwave to heat it up. I put it in for 30 seconds. I'm gonna give it a quick stir, and then I'm gonna put it back in. And I'll tell you about a couple other things while we're waiting. So has anyone been wondering about the freezer bags, about the baggie stands? These are all Family Freezer brand. I can't tell you how many freezer meals I made with trying to hold these bags up in bowls, in measuring cups, in trying to put them in other things. I had one full tomato sauce that slumped and dumped on the floor, made me cry before I thought we have to come up with something. So we now sell these stands. The link is in your freebie. Also reusable freezer bags. If you don't have them, that's okay. You can use the regular zip top bags from the grocery store, that's fine. And sometimes I do that if I'm making the meals for someone who had a baby or had surgery and just doesn't want to have to wash anything after they make the meal. But the reusable bags are great. They don't leak. They're very easy to seal. They are the same exact size. So let me show you. Let me put this back in the microwave and I'll show you. This is a gallon size bag. This is for our granola bars. It's the big size. And then the ones that I've been using during class are the quart size. So these are just like the same size that you buy at the grocery store. After you make one meal, you have to wash one bag, and they're very easy to wash. You turn it inside out, scrub it with hot and soapy water, and then let it dry inside out. So they are so easy to wash, you will love them. And also these baggy stands, they can go down and up. So I'm using the same stand for my gallon bags and my quart bags. And they also fold flat for storage. Okay. All right, I'm just stirring this up. It is completely melted, and then I'm gonna mix it in with our dry ingredients. And then I'll add some mini chocolate chips. That really makes them good. And feel free to do some substitutions here. If you would rather do dried fruit, if you want coconut, maybe you want almond butter instead of peanut butter, that would work as well. You can totally do that. I'm gonna pour this in. And let's see, what else could be holding you back? Sometimes people tell me freezer space is an issue. Is that your trouble? Do you have a very stocked freezer? Well, I have to tell you, these meals do not take up a lot of space. You saw those quart-sized bags. They are very small. So even if you only make a couple of meals at once, you should be able to fit them in your freezer, or you could put them in your refrigerator if you're going to be cooking them in the next couple of days. And I might need to do a little bit of tough love right now. Because if your freezer is so full that you can't fit one of these bags in there, you're going to need to clean it out, and it's okay. All right, I'm telling you right now, it's all right. So there might be something in your freezer that's expired and needs to be thrown away. And I want you to do that because those things are holding you back from the life you want. They're holding you back from having these healthy meals at your disposal. If everything in your freezer is good, maybe you just stocked up on meat, what I would recommend doing is look at what's in your freezer and think, what can I use over the next week? And plan your dinners. Be like, oh, here's some chicken. I'll make chicken on Sunday. Or, oh, here's some peas. I'll make macaroni and cheese and peas on Tuesday. And think about how you can use those ingredients over the next week or two. You're gonna save a lot of money at the grocery store because you won't have to buy food to cook, and you're gonna make that space in your freezer. And if you need extra hand-holding, I have a challenge. I'll show you on my membership. I actually created a 3-day challenge, and the first day is cleaning out your freezer. That's for the people who really need the hand-holding. I can even walk you through it if you do, because I want you to make these meals. You're gonna love them. Now that this is combined, we just need to let it cool for a second. So I'm gonna kind of take my time stirring it. Before I add in my mini chocolate chips, we have half a cup here, and then I'm going to put them in our pan. This is an 8x8 pan. I have parchment paper. I'm gonna do some cooking spray so nothing sticks. And I'll be pushing these into the pan. And what I'm gonna do, actually, I prepared ahead of time, and I made a pan of these last night, and I already put them in my freezer so we can do a little switcheroo, and I'll show you what they look like whenever they're done. All right, I think this is cooled enough to add the chips. So let's go ahead and add them. And then I'm gonna have my husband, Andy, who is amazing and who we appreciate so very much for his help, to bring over the other pan that I pre-made so I can show you how you're gonna store these in the future when they're done. And also I will show you how to add the meat to the freezer bags. I don't think I'm gonna add the meat to all of the bags right now because if I do a couple, you're gonna understand, you'll know what to do. I really wanna be respectful of your time, and I wanna make sure we have enough time for me to show you my website because it's really hard to understand. It's very different from just Googling a recipe or finding another recipe online. So if you've already joined or if you're considering joining, you're gonna need to see how it works to understand. All I'm doing is pressing these granola bar ingredients down into the pan with my spatula, and then this would need to go into the freezer for at least a couple of hours to set. That's why I made one ahead of time. Let's do a little switcheroo, and I'll show you how this works. Hold on one second. All right, just grabbed a fresh, clean knife to cut these. The parchment paper makes it so easy to lift it out of the pan. And then you can spread it out, and you're gonna slice this into 16 bars. I don't know if I'm gonna do them all. Ooh, this is straight from the freezer. Maybe take it out of the freezer a couple minutes before you have to cut it. This is a good learning moment for you because I don't want you to have to struggle to cut through. But I'm gonna cut, I won't do all of them right now. I'm just gonna show you how to wrap a couple of them. And I might cut them a little bit bigger because I have a couple teenagers. So it's up to you. If you just want these to be tiny, like a little sweet bite, or if you want to make them bigger for a bigger appetite, that is up to you. But you cut them, and then I like to wrap them individually in plastic wrap, and then I put them in my freezer bag. And you can eat these anytime. Out of the freezer, you can grab one, or sometimes I'll store them in my refrigerator. They don't last very long in my house. Let's read some reviews. Zoe said, I attended your cooking class this week and went out and bought the ingredients for 10 meals right away. We split them into 2 bags each because we're a small family. To have 20 meals in the freezer in about 2.5 hours was great. Everything has tasted amazing and it's expanding my horizon. I would never have used cooking vinegars or certain spices before. Now I can see how delicious they are. My husband and my 1-year-old love the food too. Thank you. Oh, yay. I'm so glad they're working for you. And oh, Sue commented on this specific recipe. She said, oh my goodness, my husband loves these so much. I have made 4 or 5 different no-bake bars. He ate these first. Then he just looked at me and handed me the bag. I love them too. They are delicious and so easy to make. Oh, yay. All right. You guys are going to love these. It's so nice. Like, you gotta have a little treat, you know? I wanted to make the 12 meals, but these are fun too. So I can finish doing these later, or my husband Andy will help us. Maybe because he is the best. Everybody loves Andy. Everybody needs an Andy in their life. Sorry, ladies, he's mine. But let me show you how to add the meat to the freezer bags. Andy just pulled out a couple options for us. Let's see what we got here. Oh, good, good, good. All right, we have our chicken breasts and our turkey breast tenderloin. This is for that Thanksgiving dinner. Have you ever had turkey breast tenderloin before? It's so good. Oh, I highly recommend trying it. And this is from our local grocery store. You don't need to go anywhere fancy to find it. They come 2 to a package, which makes it so perfect for these smaller meals. And I'm just gonna add 1 turkey tenderloin to each freezer bag. If you can't find a turkey tenderloin, or if you don't wanna make it for some reason, you could also use the smaller pork tenderloin or even chicken breasts. They are all delicious, so you have options. And then I'm gonna do one of the chicken recipes. I'm gonna do the crock pot chicken chili. In this package, there are 2 breasts. They're very large. And so I'm just gonna add 1 chicken breast to each bag. And then after it cooks in my crock pot, I will just shred it after cooking. That's how you end up with more than 1 serving, even if you only have a couple pieces of meat. All right, I think that you now have a sense. I'm not gonna do the other meat. You've already seen me add the chicken. You know how it works. I'll just wash my hands because I wanna show you how to seal a bag to make sure you don't get any freezer burn. I will tell you, I have never had issues with freezer burn. You don't need a fancy vacuum sealer. I've tried the vacuum sealers before and they don't work that great with this type of meals because they start to suction out the liquid or the sauce. So just don't worry about it. You can very, very easily seal these yourself. Let me just show you how to do it. Let's do one that I just finished. So our turkey tenderloin. So I kind of pat it down. You're gonna wanna seal it so there's just a couple inches left. And then I squeeze the air out, or I even roll it if I can to get all the air out. Ta-da! You can even flatten it. Oh my gosh, look at this. You can fit this in your freezer. It's so tiny. Let's do one more, all right? Just so that in case you missed it, I'll seal a white chicken chili for you. And then I am hoping at this point, you are excited, you are motivated, you know you can make these meals. You're ready to text your daughter-in-law, your friend, and you're gonna be like, you are not gonna believe this. This lady, Kelly, showed me how to save time, save money, eat healthy. And you are just pumped up and you can see how these meals are gonna change your life. This is the freezer meal system you've been looking for. So what I'm gonna do is, I am gonna grab my laptop. I'm gonna grab my other mic because I wanna show you my membership site to Freezer Meal Pro, and so you can actually imagine how it could work for you, because it is very different from anything you've ever seen before. This is Freezer Meal Pro. You can log in and see all of my easy and healthy recipes that can be frozen raw, and I want to quickly show you how I would use it to plan my next group of freezer meals. I usually get started just by looking at the photos. This chicken tortilla soup is jumping out at me for sure. Oh, we love so many of these recipes. Chicken curry is delicious. We could keep scrolling, but I already know I want to make that soup. We didn't make any soups during today's class, so let's go into the recipe and I can show you what it looks like. You're going to see there are very simple ingredients. You can find them at your local grocery store. Here we go. Super, super simple. It tells you exactly how to freeze and cook it later. And then this recipe can be cooked in the crock pot or the Instant Pot. We have full nutritional information. And then if we scroll down, let's see if there are comments from other people who have made it. Yes, Linda, I made this for the first time yesterday. My husband and I loved it. I'm looking forward to eating the leftovers. Michelle, super easy to make. It tasted good as well. Another Michelle went back for seconds. Oh my gosh, this is great. Vashti made it. Looks like she made some edits. So it's really good to look through here before you make a recipe. Might give you some ideas. Mindy, this was delicious. My picky eaters all told me to make it again. Incredible. Kinsey, amazingly simple yet so delicious. Definitely 5 out of 5 kid approved. I think it is very clear we want to make this recipe. My family loves it. So I am going to add it to my Meals to Make collection, and I'll show you some other ways to find recipes. Now I have some spinach, baby spinach left over in my refrigerator. I do not want it to go to waste. So let's put baby spinach. Isn't that the worst when you buy a vegetable and you have it in your refrigerator and then you forget about it and then it goes bad and you have to throw it away and you're wasting that money and you're wasting the food. So it's really easy to just search by keyword, by ingredient right here on the website and figure out how you can make it into a freezer meal. Now we can, again, look through the photos, read the name of the recipes. I love this sticky honey garlic chicken and spinach recipe. My kids really like this. And we didn't do any Asian inspired meals during today's class, so this would give us even more variety. So, let's skip the takeout. Let's eat this instead of ordering Chinese and go through. All right, it has a bunch of stars. Super simple ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. Did I miscount? 7 total. Wow. Definitely making this. Let's point out Weight Watchers points. There are 4 Weight Watchers points in this recipe. And freeze and cook it later. Cook it in the crock pot or the Instant Pot. Nutritional info. We have 14 net carbs. Anyone who's counting their carbs, that would be right here in nutritional info. So let's definitely make this. I'm going to add this to my Meals to Make collection. And then I'll show you some other search options. Now we have an advanced search on the website that gives you so many ways to find your perfect freezer recipes. This is so much better than Google, than Pinterest, anywhere you are looking for recipes online, because it is a huge collection of healthy freezer recipes that can all be frozen raw. This doesn't exist anywhere else. And you're going to use these filters to really drill down and find the exact recipes you want. Let's start with the diet filter. You can filter by dairy-free, diabetic, gluten-free, ketogenic, lower sodium, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, whole food, which is similar to Whole30. I am going to search for gluten-free today, and we will see what type of freezer meals come up. And let's go ahead, look at the photos. All right. Ooh, lettuce wraps sound good. Yum. Shredded chicken nachos. Okay. Let's do the honey mustard salmon and rice bowls. My mom just recently told me she loves this recipe, and this is one that I make a lot, and sometimes I make it with chicken instead of salmon. It is delicious. This is a great recipe. You're going to love it. Again, super simple, has Weight Watchers points, tells you exactly how to freeze it and cook it. This is an oven recipe, so you're not eating from your crock pot every night or your Instant Pot every night. We have so many different cooking methods. Let's add this to our meals to make and do some more advanced search. I want to make sure you have an idea all the different filters that we have on the website. I already went through diet, and then there's cookbook. So if anyone had my cookbook ebooks and was looking for a specific recipe, you could do that. You can do cooking method, which our options are air fryer, campfire, crock pot, grill, Instant Pot, microwave, no cook, oven, stovetop. This is not eating from a crock pot every single night. This is just an easy way to eat healthy. I'm going to select oven. Let's do another oven recipe and filter that way. And then I'm going to, you guessed it, I'm going to look through all of the photos and just decide what looks good. Oh, look at this too. White chocolate strawberry lava cakes. So this isn't just dinner recipes. We do have some desserts, some breakfast, some snacks, banana zucchini baked oatmeal. Oh my gosh, who doesn't love oatmeal? Let's go in here. I would love to freeze this. I love having a breakfast or snack on hand. That's why we did those crispy rice granola bars during today's class. All right. Oh, I love this. Healthy, has ripe bananas in there, some grated zucchini, oats, yum. Semi-sweet chocolate chips. Yes, I am for sure making this. Oh, let me point out too, you make this in an 8x8 pan. So this isn't huge. This would be perfectly fine if you only have 2 people, or you could make it bigger. All right. It says exactly how to cook it in the oven. So we will add this to our meals to make. And I want to show you some more search options, because not only do we have so many different filters to go through the recipes, you can actually combine the filters. You can do more than one at a time. So you could combine a diet with a cooking method, or a diet with a protein or cuisine. So let me show you, we already went through diet, cookbook, cooking method. For protein, there's beef, chicken, lamb, pork, seafood, turkey, vegetarian. I am going to pick chicken, but let's see. So for cuisine, American, Asian, Caribbean, Indian, Italian, Japanese, Mediterranean, Mexican, Middle Eastern, North African. You guys, you are not going to feel like you're eating the same thing every night. So many different flavor options. Online class, you could find today's recipes, Weight Watchers points. You can filter that way. But let's combine chicken with our other filter of gluten-free and find at least one more recipe that we want to make for our next group of freezer meals. What is it going to be? All right. So many good options. I'm trying to think about what we already made, what I have in my freezer. I think I'm going to do this crock pot or Instant Pot salsa chicken. I love this recipe because it can be used for almost everyone, every diet, every age. You can serve it on tortillas. You can serve it on lettuce wraps. You can do rice. You could do chips for your grandkids. You have so many options. It has a ton of stars. It's very popular, very easy, simple ingredients, budget friendly. Let's go down. Let's see what the comments are on this one. Do we have a review? Yes, we do. Denise, family love this. Lisa, another great recipe. Shannon, a good weeknight meal for my family. Teresa, Nancy. Okay, amazing. Yes, 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 yes. Let's add this to our meals to make. And then I want to show another option. So I just showed you how you can search for your perfect recipes and create your own meals to make freezer meal prep session. But if you need a shortcut, you could go up to meal plans. And these are meal plans that I already created, kind of like how I created today's class and I picked the recipes and created the shopping list for you. You could go into meal plans and there are over 50 groups of recipes that I already created. So let's go into 5 ingredients or less. If you drop that down, you're going to see I picked 12 recipes with 5 ingredients or less. You could create this collection and you would have all the printable recipes and the full shopping list. So this would be a shortcut. If you don't want to search for recipes, you can look in here. Some of them are based on diet. Some of them are based on time, based on store. You name it, it is probably in here. I have After Baby. I have Aldi, Costco, Back to School, Breakfast, Busy Families. I have a couple meals for two, Empty Nesters. If you need it, it is here for you. But let's go to our recipe collection because I want to show you the meals to make that we were creating just now. When I found those 5 recipes, I added them all to my meals to make recipe collection. And in here, if we go into meals to make, you can actually edit the number of servings. So you can see this has 6, 6, 4, 6, 6. An average is 4 to 6 of the recipes on my website. And if you were cooking for less people, you wanted to do fewer servings, you could edit that right here. You could cut it in half. And then that would change the recipe and tell you what you need to add to the freezer bag. And it also would change your shopping list. So you have that option here. Now I'm going to leave it as written, just like we did in today's class, make the recipes as written, split it into 2 freezer bags. So I'm going to leave it as is. And then I want to create the shopping list because does anyone else hate writing shopping lists? It's just such a pain and I have to do it every week. It never ends. But right now, I just clicked a tiny little button and guess what? Our shopping list is ready. All 5 of those recipes. I'm going to cross off the baby spinach that is not going to go bad in my fridge. I'm going to use it. I'm going to cross off my seasonings. Obviously, double check, make sure you have them, but I probably have all of these. And then we go up here and is there a way to save that? I don't know. I think we'll just go ahead and print it. All right, so we're going to print our shopping list and you are going to see it already crossed off. It has the baby spinach. It has all the seasonings are crossed off. I could print this, head to the store, and I am ready to make these meals. I also can print the recipes and these are all super printer friendly. They are black and white. They don't use colored ink. They are very, very simple. No photos because I want to, make the most of your ink on your computer. They force a page break and actually include a very simple label that you could tape on your freezer bag or you can just save it for when it's time to cook the meal. Literally everything you need to make your next group of freezer recipes. So in the last 5 minutes, you saw me plan 10 more easy and healthy meals. If you haven't joined yet, all you need to do is go to thefamilyfreezer.com/pro, thefamilyfreezer.com/pro. And you are going to find you can join for a one-time fee. One time. This is a lifetime membership. There are no strings attached and you're going to use it over and over and over again to make freezer meals. And I'm going to scroll down and just show you some of features. I know here are some reviews, other people who have the site, other people who love it. I know you're going to love it. A lot of our members are here today. I love you guys. Here's more about me, my story, how I fell in love with freezer meals. We have over 200,000 members. So I think you can feel confident that this is going to work for you. The meals are delicious. They're simple. And just read through, get a little more sense of the site. Let's scroll down. I want to show you a really, really great bonus. Let's go down here. All right. Right now, limited time bonus. When you join, you're going to get access to all of my cookbook ebooks. These are PDF files. If you join today, you will have access to over 20 files that you could download, open. They might be focused on crockpot recipes. I have oven recipes, stovetop, clean eating is really popular, diabetic friendly, you name it. I probably have a PDF already formatted for you. So that is a great bonus. Let's go ahead and add this to our cart. And like I said, it is $97, a one-time fee. No strings attached. This is a great deal. Up here, if you wanted to, you could add the Getting Started Challenge. You could add this to your order. This is the hand holding for cleaning out your freezer that I told you about. So if you want this, you can add it to your order today, only $19.99. No pressure if you don't need that. All right, $97 one-time fee, totally worth it. When I am making freezer meals, when I am planning our recipes, we save over $300 a month. And so you are going to find the very first time you use this, it's going to pay for itself. However, you're going to keep using it and you're going to use it month after month, year after year, and just keep saving and saving and saving. And to thank you for attending today's class, I'm going to share a coupon code with you. You can use coupon code GRANDPARENTS. And this is good for 2 days only. For 2 days to thank you for attending today's class, you can use Grandparents and you will save $19.40. This is 20% off the one-time fee. Your total is $77.60. Please take advantage. If you want to join, this is your chance to really save big. I know someone is going to be emailing me next week and be like, hey, Kelly, do you have any sales coming up? Do you have any coupon codes? And unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no. We try and keep that $97 fee really low year round. But whenever I teach a class, I always try and share a coupon code if I can. Get that 20% off. It's 2 days only. Proceed to checkout. Now is the time. This is your chance. I know you're motivated. I know you are ready. So use the coupon code GRANDPARENTS. You're going to want to put in your info to check out, put in your email address. This is how you're going to join my email newsletter, get all my free recipes. Right here, you're going to set up your account, write down your username and password so that you remember how to log in. Because as soon as you check out, you can start using this today. So you just put in your card info, you press place order, and then later all the info will be in your email. All right, that is not all because we are offering a fast action bonus. And that bonus is for anybody who joins during today's class. So if you join Freezer Meal Pro today during class, you are going to get, drum roll please, Family Freezer TV. Family Freezer TV lives in Freezer Meal Pro. It is recordings of all of my cooking classes and they are on demand. They have the freebies. You can watch them anytime. It's kind of like Netflix. You could plan ahead. You could have a whole weekend. You lounge on the couch. You have your snacks. You have popcorn. Maybe you make a tea and you just watch me all weekend. Wouldn't that be the best? Anyway, it is a really, really great bonus. Anyone who joins, I want you to get that Family Freezer TV. Okay, Andy, my husband, just slipped me a piece of paper. These are some people who already joined. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Joanne, welcome to Freezer Meal Pro. Dorothy, Pam, Deborah, Donna, Maria, yeah, you're in. And Barbara, Kathy, Kim, welcome. I'm sure other people have joined. I appreciate you. I am so excited for you to get started and make sure you join during today's class. Remember, you get to that 20% coupon code. Grandparents is good for 2 days only. I want to make sure I answer your questions live before we do our cooking demo. So I'm going to go back in the chat. And if you have questions that I haven't answered yet, please put them there. I will answer them for you. I know a common question is if you can use frozen meat in the meals. I used fresh today, but you absolutely can do frozen meat. All you need to do is add it to the bags completely frozen. Don't thaw it, don't cook it. You just take that frozen meat, you put it in the bags, you seal it. Another option is you could wait to add it the day of cooking. You could prepare the meals without the meat and then wait and add the frozen meat later. Those options are both will work for you. So let's see what other questions people have. Let's see. It looks like a lot is already answered. There were a couple questions about upgrading. So Freezer Meal Pro membership is our most popular membership. It's over 200,000 people who have joined. It's lifetime. It's that one-time fee that you can join today, $77.60 with the coupon code. If you love it, you can upgrade to VIP. And then you start getting monthly recipes. It's like you are like, Kelly, please, more. We actually have 2 chefs who have worked for us for years who write these recipes. They are amazing. So if you want that, you can add it later. Some people were asking about it. Maybe they've been a Freezer Meal Pro member. They are ready for those extra recipes. They want that nudge to just keep making more and more meals because they are super fans. So that is great. But really what you need is Freezer Meal Pro. That's the most popular membership to even get started.
You have to have Pro to have.
And there's no way to get VIP without having Pro. So everyone gets Freezer Meal Pro. And then, like I said, when they get to a point where they want more, they can upgrade. But those are the only 2 levels, and that's the only way to get it. And there is no plan to ever create another level. Those 2, I mean, they're really, really amazing. Let's see. What other kind of questions? There were a couple questions about the garlic butter steak bites. Let me grab this. I'll tell you what kind of meat I'm using in that recipe. Now remember, you're gonna get the freebie after class. It's gonna tell you everything you wanna know. So this recipe calls for boneless sirloin tip roast. That's the roast that I bought, and you just cut it into bite-sized pieces. It melts in your mouth. It is amazingly delicious. You're gonna love it. So sirloin tip roast, boneless sirloin tip roast. Remember, this is gonna come out after class. Give us a couple minutes to send it out, but you'll have all the info, don't you worry. Okay, this is a great question, the coupon code. The coupon code grandparents will work for the bags and stands. So again, that's only today and tomorrow. It's 2 days only, but you can use grandparents on the quart size freezer bags, the gallon size freezer bags, the baggy stands. Those are all 20% off with the coupon code. So if you've been waiting to buy those, definitely get them these 2 days with the coupon code because those very, very rarely go on sale. I think it's normally New Year's and back to school when they're on sale. So use your 20% off with grandparents. Great question. I'm so glad you brought that up because we do want to give you that 20% off. And the links to the bags and stands are in your freebie. Or you can go to thefamilyfreezer.com. But the link is in your freebie. Let's see.
Explain what a sheet pan meal is.
Okay, someone asked what a sheet pan meal is. A sheet pan meal is a baked recipe, and it gets the name from the idea that you would cook it on a baking sheet. Like a sheet pan would be a baking sheet. You don't even have to use a baking sheet. You could use a 9x13 pan or an 8x8 aluminum pan. It's just the idea that you're baking it in the oven. That's all. A lot of people love those recipes, and it just gives you all that variety because we have crock pot, we have Instant Pot, but it's like sometimes you want to bake an oven meal too, you know? Anything else? Any new color of freezer bags coming out soon? We do have new freezer bags coming. I cannot reveal the color. Let me think if I can tell you when we'll have them. April. So we do sometimes offer limited edition colors of these bags. The white seal is our classic favorite, but sometimes we'll do limited edition colors. That's what our super fans are asking about. And it's really fun and easy way to organize your freezer. You can tell the color. And so we have a brand new color coming in April. So get excited. We actually have a couple other colors coming this year too, and they're really good. But I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's really fun once we announce what color is coming next. So I'm gonna wait.
Question about cooking time based on the...
So what I'm gonna do is a cooking demo. It's real quick, but I'll grab my crock pot. I already have an Instant Pot here, and I'll just show you how to actually cook them. Let me just make sure I got every question. And if I don't answer your question here live, you can absolutely email. Let's say email help@thefamilyfreezer.com. If you email help@thefamilyfreezer.com, someone will get back to you so quickly. It's normally our team member, Jana. She is the best. She knows the answer to every question. She can solve your life problems. Like, she is incredible. So if you email help@thefamilyfreezer.com, and you can always respond to my emails too. When I send an email, you respond. Either I'm checking that or Jana's checking that. Like, we are here for you all the time, and we get back to you very quickly. Like, it's normally within 1 day. We'd always try 2 days, but it's often very soon. So don't you worry. All your questions will get answered.
If they're having issues with the website.
If you have any issues with the website, it's on one hand, it's a good thing because a lot of people are probably trying to join now. They want to use the coupon code. They want to save money. Don't worry. If you're having trouble right now, maybe just try back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes when you get the email, or set a timer on your phone, check in an hour, check after dinner, whenever you have time today. We will make sure that you get in and that you get to use the coupon code. We always, we are very nice people, obviously. I care about you. You're going to use your coupon code. You're going to be able to join, but sometimes a lot of people do join at once and then everything slows down. But we will don't you worry. It just might be because a lot of people are joining at once, but we will make it happen. We do have a gift membership. So someone was asking about that. Let me see. If you make the regular gallon size recipes, can you break them down to 2 or 3 quart bags for serving 1 to 2 servings? If you make the regular recipes, I would do exactly what I just did in today's class. I just split them into 2 freezer bags. And each one of these bags really has 2 to 3 servings. And so if it's 1 person, 2 people, these make such great lunches. I love having a leftover lunch. That's what I eat. I mean, I eat that almost every day. That's what I had today. I had leftovers from yesterday. It was delicious. So even if you have a little bit left over, I'm always so happy to have that home cooked meal. It's so good. A lot of these meals are great leftover. A crock pot recipe, yum. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. So I think I'm going to do the cooking demo. And if you have other questions, just email help@thefamilyfreezer.com and we will answer your question later. All right, let's do a cooking demo. I have my Instant Pot. I have my crock pot. Andy left out our crock pot white chicken chili. And you're just imagining it's morning, you have a busy day coming, and you're gonna come home to an amazing dinner in your crock pot, and your house is gonna smell incredible. So let's see how to make it happen. You just add this to your crock pot with 1 cup of broth. Amazing, so easy, no opening cans, no cutting anything. We are staying clean, we are making no dishes. We're dumping it out of the bag. We're adding 1 cup of broth. And then this says to set it to high for 5 to 7 hours or low for 10 to 12 hours. So you can be gone all day and leave this cooking. This is a smaller slow cooker. I recommend these smaller ones, maybe 3 quarts, maybe up to 4 quarts. I love this one. It has a programmable timer. Now, if you have a large slow cooker, you don't need to buy a new one. You don't need to buy a small one. You can use yours. You're just going to want to decrease the cooking time, maybe even in half. You know your appliance, you know your slow cooker. Whatever time you normally cook, follow those directions. And I have that written on your recipe too. Let's talk about the Instant Pot. We didn't even think about dinner. We were rushing around all day. We get home. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna eat? I don't wanna get takeout. I don't wanna go out to eat. Oh my gosh, my past self made those freezer meals. Yes. We open up our Instant Pot. We dump this in. We need 1 cup of broth, keeps it from burning. You seal it. And this says pressure cook 20 minutes, natural release. We shred up that chicken. Dinner is done. The crowd goes wild, right? So good, so easy. I just want to remind you that your coupon code is good for 2 days only. Use that coupon code grandparents. You don't want to miss out. But I have a couple final shout outs. Julie said, I'm a pro member. I have loved every recipe so far. Marla, I signed up for Pro last week and made my first 3 freezer meals for my daughter who had a baby yesterday while watching her twin 15-month-old toddlers. Planning, shopping, and assembly only took 1.25 hours. Marla, you are amazing. Amy, these dinners are delicious. I've been a member for over a year and I love it. Yay! You know what? I want you to reply to my email and tell me your own success story because I love hearing from you. It really motivates me. It keeps me going. But I think that's all for today. So I just want to thank you so very much for taking your time to be here. I appreciate you more than you can imagine. And I'll see you next time.